The University of Surrey is a university based in Guildford in the southeast of England. We're a medium-sized university focused on research. We have about 12 to 14,000 students, about 2,500 members of staff.
The University of Bath was established around 1966. We've got currently about 10,500 to 11,000 students and then somewhere around 2,500 staff.
Some of the challenges facing the university currently include continuing change in legislation and requirements from government, changes to variable tuition fees for UK undergraduate students. It's brought about a change in focus for us as an organisation.
I think one of the major drivers that we have is the requirement for value for money, particularly out of the purchasing that we do. We're looking to achieve a much clearer view of everything that we buy first of all, and also make it as easy as possible to get people to go down the preferred route.
Over the last few years we've made a concerted effort to move from basically a paper-based organisation to much more use of web-based applications, delivering self-service to people's desktop. We spend all our time producing reports, all essentially looking at the same information, but in hugely different ways all the time, depending on the funder that we have to report to. The important thing when selecting an ERP system is that the supplier understands your business. We need to be able to work closely with them. They need to understand us, and certainly when we selected Agresso, it was important to us that they were already working heavily in the sector. They understood what higher education was about and they've got a specific focus on the market. The consultants that I've worked with are genuinely interested in what it is we're trying to achieve. And equally, as an organisation wider than that, they're in regular contact. They're interested in what it is that we're about.
They supported us very well indeed. We had the single point of contact as the project manager, allowing us to run the project but giving us advice where we needed it.
Agresso itself, particularly in its latest incarnation, is much more user-friendly than the older versions. From my perspective, when I deliver something to somebody's desktop, I want to be able to do it with a limited amount of training. And certainly for the self-service elements, that's very important.
I would say flexibility of reporting within Agresso is probably the greatest strength we have, because we have a huge diversity of users. There are people who will use Agresso every day, there are people who will use Agresso once a month. Well, Agresso Business World will offer us a much greater flexibility in terms of the way in which we can output reports, and also the way in which we can try and build consolidated reports, so that we're looking at getting information from lots of different areas of the business, putting all that together into one particular output.
Within the purchase to pay process itself, being able to work from one end of the process to the other is very important, and it means, from our point of view, the process is much more efficient. It means it's much easier for the end users, and they can follow a transaction from one end to the other, and then when you move on to management reporting of that, they can track it all the way back to the initial requisition, for example. Agresso is much more flexible than I expected it to be. You can customise it to do the things that you want to do, the things that you need to do to drive your business. The ability to be able to integrate with other business systems is very important. We've been able to shorten the process times for many areas of the application. In particular, things like travel expenses, which we're just rolling out. An end user can enter their claim online, it's approved online, and they get paid much quicker than in our old paper process. Agresso work very closely with the sector. The user group for higher education is very active, and as a consequence I think it enables them to move very quickly to respond to our needs.
The Agresso user group is starting to give us some benefit now. Probably within the HE sector anyway, people are much more ready to share solutions that they've developed. People are very happy to give you advice and tell you, no, that way is probably not a good idea, come and have a look and see what we've done. We're quite proud of what we've done within Agresso.
They've supported the user group very strongly, and it's a very active user group, and that's very important. I think it works both ways. It's important for us as a university because it means we've got very close contact with them, but I think it's important for Agresso as well, because I'm sure they get a lot of customer feedback and knowledge that they can then use to develop the product themselves. Our key priorities are rolling out more self-service applications to users' desktops. All members of staff are automatically set up as Agresso users now, and the intention is moving forward that we'll be pushing out more information to users. On the purchase to pay side itself, It's enabled us to move forward with a fully integrated system. Over the next few months, we're going to be looking at punching out to suppliers' websites directly. And so once again, that's about making it easier for end users to purchase the things that they need. And certainly one of the things that's encouraging from our point of view with Agresso is the desire to keep developing these front-end applications to make it easy for the end user.
From an Agresso implementation, people will get as much as they put in. If all you do is a like-for-like move from your legacy system into Agresso, you really won't see much benefit, because within Agresso there is a much greater functionality, much more richness of functionality. You need to be going in and re-examining your business processes, making certain that you start to look at the business needs rather than looking at the finance system that you've got and then trying to tailor your business processes to within the constraints that you've got from a finance system. Agresso will give you the opportunity to review your processes completely, particularly when you think of things like workflow. One of the things when we were looking at our change was that we did not want to be doing just the same thing with different pictures in the background. We were looking to change our business processes radically.
I think Agresso has certainly met our expectations, in many cases exceeded it. I've worked with a number of different finance systems in different organisations, and Agresso is one of the good ones.